Something strange happens when the world panics, and almost nobody talks about it. When global markets crash, when news anchors predict the end of the financial system, and when millions of people watch their life savings plummet in real time, a collective illusion takes over. People believe that money is disappearing. But wealth does not evaporate during a crisis. It simply transfers. While the masses rush for the exit, terrified of losing everything, a very specific type of person is quietly walking through the front door. They are not panicking. They are shopping. In moments of global distress, a hidden mechanism activates, a system of wealth transfer that has operated in the background for centuries. But what exactly are the prepared buying? And why does this invisible system work every single time? If you want to understand more hidden patterns like this, subscribe to the channel now. To understand this system, we have to look at a highly specific scenario. Imagine the year 2008. The global financial system is on the brink of total collapse. Historic institutions are filing for bankruptcy. Millions of people are losing their homes, their jobs, and their sense of security. The screens on Wall Street are flashing red. The atmosphere is purely defined by fear. But 1,000 miles away, in Omaha, Nebraska, Warren Buffett is sitting in his office. He is not watching the ticker tape. He is not frantically calling advisors. He is reading. He is calm. And while the world is screaming to sell, he is quietly deploying billions of dollars. Most people look at this and assume it requires a special kind of bravery. They think it is about having an iron stomach or taking massive risks. But this is where the pattern becomes even stranger. He is not taking risks. He is actually reducing them. He is not acting on bravery. He is acting on a deep understanding of human psychology and systemic mechanics. He knows that during a panic, the market completely detaches from reality. In normal times, assets are priced based on mathematics, but in a panic, assets are priced based on emotion. And this creates an incredible distortion in reality. When a stock market crashes by 40%, the physical infrastructure of the world does not disappear. The railroad tracks are still there, the utility grids still carry electricity, the software systems still power global communication. Only the perceived value has dropped. The fundamental utility remains exactly the same. The wealthy understand the critical difference between price and value. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. Are you someone who reacts to price or someone who looks for value? Comment the word safe if you prefer to hold cash in a crisis, or comment risk if you prefer to buy when others sell. Most people let the panic dictate their behavior. They let the system tell them what to feel. But the real system hides one level deeper. The global financial machine is not designed to protect you. It is designed to test you. It operates on a cycle of expansion and contraction. Credit expands, people get greedy, and assets become overvalued. Then a shock hits the system. Credit contracts, fear takes over, and assets become artificially cheap. This cycle exists because human emotion is a constant. Greed and fear are the twin engines of the financial markets. The system benefits those who can separate their intellect from their emotions. It actively drains wealth from the reactive and transfers it to the prepared. Most people fail to notice this because they are entirely zoomed in on the daily news cycle. They are looking at the waves while entirely missing the tide. Do you think success is mostly skill or mostly systems? Most people never learn these systems unless they actively study them. Subscribe now if you want to be part of the minority that understands how the machine truly operates. When a global panic hits, you must understand exactly what the top 1% are looking to acquire. They do not buy just anything. They hunt for very specific characteristics. They are looking for assets that mimic a toll bridge. Imagine a bridge connecting two vital cities. Regardless of what happens in the stock market, regardless of inflation, and regardless of a global panic, people still need to cross that bridge. Goods must be transported, workers must commute, life must continue. If you own the toll bridge, you collect a fee every single time someone crosses. You do not care if they are happy or sad. You do not care if the economy is booming or crashing. You own an indispensable piece of reality. This is what Warren Buffett-inspired investors look for during a crisis. They buy indispensable infrastructure, railroads that transport essential freight, energy grids that power hospitals and homes. But this is the part almost nobody realizes. A toll bridge does not have to be made of steel and concrete. It can be made of human psychology.
The second type of asset they grab during a panic is something with unshakable pricing power. Pricing power is a psychological moat. Think of a brand that people absolutely refuse to give up, even when their budget is tight. It might be a specific software that a business needs to survive. It might be a consumer product that brings people daily comfort. If a company can raise its prices during a period of high inflation and its customers do not leave, that company possesses psychological real estate. During a panic, Wall Street often sells off these companies along with everything else. The algorithm does not differentiate between a fragile company and a bulletproof one. It just sells. This is the system handing you a gift. But to accept the gift, you have to overcome the ultimate psychological trap. And this brings us to the misunderstanding. When the world panics, the masses make one catastrophic mistake. They liquidate their productive assets and they hoard cash. They believe that cash is the ultimate safe haven. They look at the numbers in their bank account and feel a sense of security. But this is an illusion. In a system built on fiat currency, cash is not a safe haven. It is a melting ice cube. During a global panic, governments and central banks always do the exact same thing. They print more money to stimulate the economy. They flood the system with liquidity. And when you increase the supply of something, you decrease its purchasing power. The cash you are hiding under your mattress or holding in a low-yield savings account is quietly being taxed by inflation. The system reinforces this trap by making you feel safe while you are slowly being drained. Intelligent people fall into this trap every single day because of a cognitive bias known as loss aversion. The psychological pain of losing $1 is twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining $1. When the market crashes, people sell at the bottom just to make the psychological pain stop. They lock in their losses. They trade future wealth for temporary emotional relief. Are you a follower of the crowd or an independent thinker? Comment, follow, or think below. This is where the illusion begins to break. The elite do not view cash as a safe haven. They view cash as a tool. It is ammunition. They hold cash during the good times when everyone else is greedy and assets are expensive. They wait patiently. And when the panic hits, they deploy that cash to buy the toll bridges, the infrastructure, and the unshakable brands at a massive discount. They understand that the only true safe haven over a long timeline is a productive asset. An asset that produces cash flow, requires very little capital to maintain, and provides a service the world cannot live without. People who understand this pattern behave completely differently from the rest of society. They do not wake up and check their portfolios in a panic. They do not read the headlines and let the media dictate their emotional state. They allocate their time to studying history, understanding human nature, and identifying high-quality systems. They interpret a market crash not as a tragedy, but as an application of the scientific method. The crash tests the structural integrity of every business. The weak are destroyed, the strong survive and capture the remaining market share. If you want to survive and thrive during the global panic, you have to adopt this exact mindset. You cannot let the fear of the unknown paralyze your decision-making. You must look at the world through the lens of systems. Ask yourself, what will people still absolutely need 10 years from now? What products, services, and infrastructure are so deeply embedded in human life that they cannot be replaced? When you find those answers, you have found the assets you need to grab when the world goes on sale. You stop trying to predict the rain, and you start building arcs. Most people spend their lives reacting to the system. They let the cycles of fear and greed push them around like a leaf in the wind. They buy when they are told to buy, and they sell when they are terrified. But a few take the time to understand it. They step back, they observe the mechanics of the machine, they study the psychology of the masses. They recognize that chaos is simply a reshuffling of the deck. And once you see the pattern, you cannot stop seeing it. There's more content not released publicly. If you want access, it's inside the archive. Link in the description. If you want to understand the hidden rules behind money, psychology, and power, subscribe to Hidden Secrets Archive. Every video on this channel breaks down the patterns most people never notice, because once you understand the system, you stop reacting to it.